Hey Gemini, welcome to your October reading, October 2020 reading. How are you? How are you feeling now that the sun is moving into Libra? Okay, pretty good, I'm assuming, if that's the first card out. Libra season, or I'm sorry, Virgo season was the mercurial energy kind of causes a lot of just a lot of interaction because of the nature of it. And so because of the Mars retrograde that's been going on, the communication, maybe not even on your end, but just involving other people, might have been when I say hostile, I don't mean like necessarily physically aggressive, just a little bit more passionate than you guys like to get with just anybody. You know what I mean? The Temperance card, the Hierophant, and then the Two of Wands. Okay, so with the Mars retrograde, there's been a really big theme with having to temper certain aspects of ourselves. What the retrograde is kind of pulling out of all of us is this super King of Wands. I mean, if Mars were sorry about that. If Mars was like a physical representation in like human form, right, it would be the King of Wands, or like a representation of that, right, that fire energy. And so with that comes the need to balance it, because you can kind of rest on either side of that. You know, in the Temperance card, here, I'm trying to grab it. Okay. The angel is pouring the water in between the two cups. It has 1 foot on the earth, 1 foot in the water. It is trying to maintain some sort of balance when it comes to, water being emotion and the earth being like staying grounded. But there is, because of the passing of the two between, there is this like kind of sub-fire energy, if that makes sense. So, Mars retrograde has been teaching you on how to kind of hold yourself back in certain arenas, and then when it's okay to let yourself carry out that Mars energy. With the Hierophant, this has been going on in your life to elevate you, to mature you in ways that have to do with how you come across to the world. When people look at you, what not that it matters, right, what people think of you, but the impression that you give off, whether that be to romantic partners, whether that be to colleagues, potential coworkers, or business partners, anything like that, how you come across to them on that first impression basis, that side of you, that almost unspoken feeling that people get around when they're around you on what's your kind of overall moral stance, like where are you, what is it that you are passionate about, what is it that you believe in, what is it that is like the driving force behind you as a person. All of that is getting it's being elevated right now. It's like a next step in your maturity, no matter how old you are. You know, Gemini, you guys are a very childlike sign. You know what I mean? You're the third sign. You guys are young on that evolution of like the life, you know what I mean, of the zodiac wheel. And so no matter how old you guys are, you will notice it throughout your life. You will go through certain fluctuations in your progression, as far as like you know, where you may need to lean into a more mature arena. And the thing is it's not even like this stays consistent forever till the end of time. This is just for the next phase that you're going into now for the certain amount of time, certain amount of years, whatever it is for you. It's starting to get reworked for this next period. Okay, that was a long ramble. With the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is all about plotting and planning. Again, this is like where you are right now. How you come across to others and how others view you, and then that then affects how they feel they can approach you. While that's being elevated, you are very aware of the fact that you're kind of in this new ground of, there is this next period coming up, and what is the life that you want to live moving forward. With the World card at the beginning of the reading, this does like signify the, not to be cliche, but like the closing of a cycle or the ending of a cycle, the closing of a chapter. But more than that, it's kind of like a reset. You've brought to completion a certain period of time in your life, and you're now in a next period where you can kind of reimagine yourself and get away with it, because it's already along that natural progression of people would be expecting you to evolve anyways. This could be if you're young and you're graduating from high school, or like just anything like that. You're in this period of, or like graduating college, or retiring, or moving states, anything like that, where you are kind of getting an opportunity to redefine who it is that you are. And so this is an incredible responsibility, but I think it's also really exciting, and you're aware of that, and you're in that planning stage, in that wanting to draw up the life that it is that you want to embark on. What are the different activities that you want to do, new skills that you want to acquire, new knowledge that you want to consume, just all sorts of these things. You're in a very almost like receiving a lot of information and storing it, and so then that way you can go through it later and see what elements that you've picked up along the way start speaking to you, and then therefore you'll be able to execute with a level of dominance, and you'll have the drive behind you to back it up, because you have allowed yourself to naturally kind of feel into the things that make you feel expansive. You know what I mean? If something isn't making you feel like super expansive, like the Two of Wands, like he's holding the globe in his hands, and he's optimistically looking out beyond into what is possible, either possible for him to venture out and go and attain, or what is possible for him to attract in, if you see the water there, right? So it leaves you in a position to where you're capable of handling that responsibility. Bottom of the deck, Two of Cups. Okay, let's see. Ten of Swords. So yeah, like I said with the World card, this is just further confirmation that, okay. And Ten of Pentacles. Cool. It's further confirmation that, again, bottom of the deck. Cool. I wasn't going to talk about it, but I guess we will now. With the Ten of Swords, then turning into the Ten of Pentacles, right? What I was going to say before the Ten of Pentacles popped out is it's further confirmation with what I was saying about the World card of as cliche as it sounds, there has been a closing out and an ending to something, right? The Ten of Swords is something that builds up over time, right? This is like the classic definition of like a cycle ending, right? It's taken time for these 10 swords to end up where they are. Some placed on your own, some by other people around you, some that have been healed wounds that have been pierced over and over again. You see what I'm saying? So this isn't just like one thing. This is you being able to find a that road within yourself that allows you to kind of accept what it is that happened and not let it define who it is that you are, right? Which you guys don't anyways, but there's a period because of the Mars retrograde. I think what is really pulling up for you guys is it's pulling up things that have been on a low simmer. Just you're cleaning house, right? It's all these half full pots that have been left on the back burners to kind of just simmer and wait, right? And you don't want to step into the next venture, into the next phase of life, worrying about pots that are, you know what I mean, about burning a house down because there's a stove left on, right? Just you have addressed those simmering pots, if that makes sense. And you are now, we lead in, and then the Ten of Pentacles popped out, which completes the other part of that duality, which is when there are endings, there are new beginnings. But more than that, here, there's a transmutation of what once was the Ten of Swords, and you're able to turn those experiences and the person you are in the accumulation of these experiences, which bred the person you are today, and you are able to harness that energy within you to transmute that into the Ten of Pentacles, right? That's the type of energy that we're going into. And, you know, we're in Libra season, we're in Karma season. So the scales are naturally balancing out as is. And like I was kind of talking about with the Temperance card, that's been going on already. You've been having to find that equilibrium within yourself. So super powerful that you're in a space of having the slate not even wiped clean, but to where you were able to take the broken pieces of whatever it was in front of you and then rearrange the pieces of it and form it into something that is incredibly valuable to you. And in that process, discovered that really there is no negative or positive situation, that there is just an opportunity to transmute the thing. Because if the Ten of Pentacles can be bred out of the Ten of Swords, and you obviously know that the Ten of Swords can be bred out of the Ten of Pentacles, you know what I mean? Like, there needs to be a balance in order to maintain this, right? If you lean too far into this energy, you'll end up right back here. You know what I mean? But as they say, once you hit rock bottom, the only way is up. And I'm not saying that you've hit rock bottom at all, but this is just kind of a testament, a very fractal representation in your life of how this plays out, that no matter what happens in life, you don't have to be fearful about ever ending up back here, because all it's done is given you an opportunity to expand yourself even more, to diversify yourself even more, and just prove to yourself that you are capable of rearranging the pieces of broken glass, or in this case, these 10 swords, and transmuting that into the Ten of Pentacles, which the Ten of Pentacles is material security. It's the happy home, the happy family situation, whatever comes to mind when you see the Ten of Pentacles. Just think of all of your practical needs being met, right? And along with the Ten of Pentacles, you know, I'm sure the Ten of Cups isn't too far like down in this deck, you know what I mean? Like I'm sure that would pop out if we kept shuffling, because with the Ten of Pentacles there, what's required to maintain that groundedness in it is kind of this emotional fulfillment, right? Like with the practical and the material fulfillment, that can only run so deep. Okay. Two of Cups. So, the Two of Cups is one of the, for me, a signal of being in alignment with something that is meant for you. Something that is on a string attached to you. Something that you've been in the unseen realm working towards. And that has been as equally working towards you. That is now able to come in to this realm where you can be face to face with it. That's what the Two of Cups screams to me. Now, this could be read in like a romantic way, you know what I mean? Through this process and this transmutation of this energy and this inevitable healing that you've been able to do within yourself, you know, once you stumble into that other side and you are very cognizantly aware of the practical abundance and the like night and day difference between where you've been and where you are now, right? And it may not even be your actual environment changing, it could just be your perception of it, right? You could be looking around and like the trees are greener and like you notice more birds chirping and you just overall are getting this like renewed sense of vitality in how you view the world. You may notice that once you're entered into this space, that then is when this thing that you've been feeling buzzing in the unknown realm, right? And probably a lot during Virgo season, considering again Mercury is just has that effect naturally, right? And let alone for you guys, especially with Mercury being happy at home, you know, even though I'm sorry, not Mercury being at home, but with the sun being in Virgo, right? With that just mercurial energy being in the spotlight, right? Sorry, I think I've been tripping up this entire reading referencing Mercury. That should just let you know how strong that the mercurial energy was during Virgo season. But now it can come through and you feel it and you see it and you can look it in the eye and kind of communicate with it, right? Now, just because this is in your reality doesn't mean like the work is over. There is still this equilibrium and this balance that needs to be maintained by you in order to uphold your end of the, not even your end of the bargain involving this person, but your end of the bargain with yourself and with the universe and with the part of yourself that you left behind in order to get to this level, right? Basically what I'm saying is if you find yourself in Libra season face to face with this person, to not throw it all out the window and quickly forget what your sights are locked on. You need to uphold your vitality on a practical level, which then allows your emotions to kind of operate in check, right? For water signs, it would be like if the emotional side is in check, then like the practical side kind of works out. I think for you guys, if you see that something is kind of operating smoothly, then that makes you feel comfortable to kind of allow yourself to open up. Just maintain that footing here, right? again, it's that evolution, like that just maturing, that being able to, you guys are already so good at being in a few different places all at once, right? It's about using that skill you guys have and sharpening that and harnessing it so that way you could really utilize it in a intentional way and in a just a very thought out what's the word, yeah, it's used intentionally, it's used as a tool, right? Rather than it just being like an aspect of your personality. You know what I mean? Like we all reach that level with ourselves where we can utilize certain aspects of our personality and flip the switch to where we can use it as a tool. We're no longer ruled by it. We're no longer um, just writing it off as it is the way it is. Sure, it is the way it is, but it's that way for a reason, and you can kind of utilize it in a way that is beneficial, right? And that has longevity to grow with you on this journey. Okay, I think that's where we're going to leave it for this month. I love you so much, Gemini. Enjoy Libra season. I know we didn't really get to talk about it a whole lot, but it's a really beautiful time of year. And I think it's really great that you're having this experience while we're going through a an air season, because you'll feel, while all this amazing stuff is going on, somewhat in your element. You know what I mean? And that'll make you be able to move with that much more grace and that much more effortlessness, um, which is just going to increase that that feeling of abundance and like winning within you. Okay. All right. I'll see you in November. Love you.